Looking back, I just wasn't into being a kid. I couldn't wait to be an adult. Being a kid sucked. I remember at age 5 seeing Steve McQueen jump that fence on his Triumph. I knew by the time he crash landed, I'd get a motorcycle as soon as I was old enough. When I hit 16, I got my first one. It was a beaten up red Suzuki ER50. It could not have come soon enough. I lived in a tiny remote village. There was only a few buses a day. The town had no shop, no park, no nothing. Maybe 4 or 5 kids my own age. One kid thought he was a bird of prey, and he's probably in a straitjacket right now, dosed up on meds. One kid was literally Biff Tanner from Back to the Future. He's currently doing a 20 stretch. There was a girl named Sarah who looked a lot like Baby from Dirty Dancing. There was me, of course, and a beautiful girl named Lisa. She became my girlfriend after a couple of weeks, and we got married at 23. The village was miles away from my school. For the last year, I've been doing a 2-hour bus journey each day, which consisted of 2 buses, a long wait in between, a long walk at the end, and the bus travelled through other school domains, so I'd have to put up with a lot of bullshit. Then at the end of the day, I'd do the same 2 hours in reverse. So that little red motorcycle did literally give me my freedom. It saved me 4 hours, and it was the key to escape. I called it my BEM, Bullshit Escape Machine. Back then, Lisa would secretly jump on the back, and occasionally we'd flee our dull village and head across the fields to a bigger town, or just down to the river. The bike completely changed everything. It introduced me to the roads. My fascination of roads has never faltered. I was amazed then how they all connected. The complex interwoven mess was fantastic. I'd often go down unmade roads. 1, to see where it went. 2, because I had Lisa on the back and it was illegal. We still hit those dirt roads that catch our eye even now. My 16th birthday was in January, so my first ride to school was in the snow. It was around 10 miles away, so a fair journey for someone starting out. The roads were cleared, but the snow was mounded up high at each side. My fingers froze, my face froze, my body froze, but I loved it. And this is the thing about motorcycles, you will endure all kinds of torture gladly. And when those brighter, warmer days come, they give you it back tenfold. When I got my first motorcycle, one of the first people I made a visit to was my granddad. I had not seen him for around 8 years due to a family war, and no one being grown up enough to say sorry, I guess. Of course, this was adult stuff and nothing to do with me. He was happy to see me and really pleased to see me on a motorcycle, for he had ridden all of his life. In the 1950s, he had taken my dad when he was a child all around Europe on the back of his Ariel Squarefoil Constellation. This was after losing his second wife, who tragically passed at around 30 years old. His first wife had also died at 19, giving birth to their first child. Only now do I think, were his motorcycles for his mental health. As soon as my best pals hit 16, one by one they also got motorcycles. When that happened, we virtually stopped going to school. We'd bunk off, ride our bikes to St. Lawrence Bay or anywhere we could dream up. Spend a day rolling around. We were free, living the dream. On the weekends we camped out, slept under the stars by the beach. Our brotherhood was now complete. Why not a car? A car will turn you into an arsehole. Something happens to people in cars. Is it the constant jams, the windows done up, no fresh air, the car behind you is too fast, the car in front is too slow, the tension builds, yapping on the phone, you've got that metal box around you, like a false armour, you get tough, angry, braver than normal, almost untouchable. False news. For you are a prisoner in the car, you're a slave to the car. Why not a car? The world is made up of 70% arseholes, 30% good folks. There are less motorcycles than cars, hence less arseholes. We as motorcyclists know we are vulnerable. We are out here alone. A motorcycle will humble you, make you appreciate life. There's no time to think about anything else when you're on a motorcycle other than staying alive. Act like you're invisible is the best policy. I'm looking at the gravel, the lady pulling out the dog off the lead, the wet drain lid, the guy on his phone texting, the kid running from his mum. It's crazy out there. You gotta stay lit. You're alive. It's kind of a buzz, but here it is, boom. When all the cars are gone and you find that peaceful road out in the middle of fucking nowhere, it's meditation, pure and simple. Inner peace, spiritual, yes. You're flying, floating, at one with the road, and that's where you'll meet yourself. You will get to know yourself, and you may begin to like who you meet. That's when you'll really appreciate your bullshit escape machine. Putting it bluntly, I'd happily ride 15 hours on a bike. I wouldn't dream of doing that in a car. I wouldn't drive to Spain in a car. I'd sooner listen to Radio 1 or stick needles in my eyes. Motorcycles, because adventures don't happen at home.